We can't start soon enough to do it. We're going to have to live closer to where we work. We're going to have to live closer to each other. We're going to have to grow more food closer to where we live. The age of the 3,000-mile Caesar salad is coming to an end. We have a railroad system that the Bulgarians would be ashamed of. We got to do better than that. And we should have started 2 days before yesterday. We are fortunate that the new urbanists were there for the last 10 years, excavating all that information that was thrown in the garbage by our parents' generation after World War II, because we're going to need it if we're going to learn how to reconstruct towns. We're going to need to get back this body of methodology and principle and skill in order to relearn how to compose meaningful places, places that are integral, that are living organisms in the sense that they contain all the organs of our civic life and our communal life deployed in an integral fashion. So that, you know, the residences make sense deployed in relation to the places of business, of culture, and of governance. We're going to have to relearn what the building blocks of these things are: the street, the block, how to compose public space that's both large and small, the courtyard, the civic square, and how to really make use of this property. We can see some of the first ideas for retrofitting some of the catastrophic property that we have in America. The dead malls. What are we going to do with them? Well, in point of fact, most of them are not going to make it. They're not going to be retrofitted. They're going to be the salvage yards of the future. Some of them we're going to fix, though. We're going to fix them by imposing back on them street and block systems and returning to the building lot as the normal increment of development. And if we're lucky, the result will be revivified town centers and neighborhood centers in our existing towns and cities. And by the way, our towns and cities are where they are and grew where they were because they occupy all the important sites. And most of them are still going to be there, though the scale of them is probably going to be diminished. We got a lot of work to do. We're not going to be rescued by the hypercar. We're not going to be rescued by alternative fuels. No amount or combination of alternative fuels is going to allow us to continue running what we're running the way we're running it. We're going to have to do everything very differently. And America's not prepared. We are sleepwalking into the future. We're not ready for what's coming at us. So I urge you all to do what you can. Life in the mid-20th, 21st century is going to be about living locally. Be prepared to be good neighbors. Be prepared to find vocations that make you useful to your neighbors and to your fellow citizens. One final thing. I've been very disturbed about this for years, but I think it's particularly important for this audience. Please, please stop referring to yourselves as consumers, okay? Consumers are different than citizens. Consumers do not have obligations, responsibilities, and duties to their fellow human beings. And as long as you're using that word consumer in the public discussion, you will be degrading the quality of the discussion we're having, and we're going to continue being clueless going into this very difficult future that we face. So thank you very much. Please go out and do what you can to make this a land full of places that are worth caring about, and a nation that will be worth defending.